So here we have a tow truck that had been stolen the night before, and it was then actually spotted by the owner on the highway after searching around all day for it. The owner flipped around, called the police, and it basically went on a 40 or 50-mile chase before it ran out of fuel. The police tried to pit it. It's a big truck, so the pits were little to no effect, and it appears to have finally just the driver on his own decided to just drive into the ditch. And that is where he got obviously captured, arrested, booked into the Washington County Jail. And where this video picks up is what happened after. So this truck, it's about 3 a.m. at this point. This first part is a little bit shaky, a little bit of storms and wind and rain and whatever going on. But I went out to help recover this vehicle. It's a very big truck. It was stuck in the mud. Even though it's 4x4, it was just too much for the flatbed there to get out. So we tried to do a couple of, you know, pulls with the front winch. Just wasn't going to be happy about it. The police did not give us the option just to give us a full highway closure to get a full, just a straight direct line pull on it. So we had to kind of work from the sides, which reduces the options that we have. Then we went with more of a direct line here, but that's straight off the side of the truck, which again isn't ideal for the truck. It was tipping it a bit more than would be ideal and not really recommended to pull out a load like that at that much of an angle. So then I found a better angle going a little bit more forward, kind of in line with that other flatbed there, and we pulled him out um, at a better angle. Now there's a mile marker post that's also right there next to the truck, so we had to be careful not to pull it up through any of that and pull it in such a way where we weren't going to damage anything and have any extra problems once the vehicle was actually out of the ditch. Now this is a gas truck and it ran out of gas, which is why the guy had to basically, he had no choice but to give up. And it was at a very steep angle, so even though they did put gas in it, it wasn't going to make any use of that gas at the angle it was sitting, so it had to come back onto flat level ground in order to try starting it again so that fuel could reach the pump and then could reach the motor. So we did, after a few different angles and a few different attempts, finally got it out. She's out! Again, we had not a complete highway closure. We had one lane we had to leave open, but just look at the amount of idiocy that happens here. Some guy slows down and then immediately gets whacked by the guy behind him. So now we have a secondary collision, and which is bad enough. You know, the guy shouldn't have been slowing down, should have just kept driving, minding his own business. But now we got a secondary collision, and the guy that swerved around him now decides to stop his vehicle in the only active lane that we have to work and puts his hazards on. And if you look closely, you can see him. He gets out of his car, and now he's walking around on a live, active lane of the highway in the middle of the night, in the rain. It's slippery, it's wet, it's dark, and he's just doing all sorts of stuff that is, it's top tier stupidity next to top tier towing. So he had to, receive some very stern words to move his vehicle and get himself out of there before a 18-wheeler came through and just would have taken everything out and caused a huge mess for everybody. But we got the stolen truck started, and it was able to back out and drive its way up the ramp and basically into the next parking lot up there, just kind of as a staging point. And then after that, we were able to clear up the scene, clear up all the equipment and tools and everything we needed to get it out with, and load up all the vehicles that were there to basically just clear the highway again. And then you bet your sweet butt we loaded up all of that stuff as fast as we could, hooked and booked it out of there just to clear the highway. And this guy, Michael Moore, got booked into the Washington County Jail. on a couple different charges. Again, the whole, innocent until proven guilty. We don't know how the court case is going to play out. We don't know what is all going to happen to there. So, but I'm going to attach his booking info to the back here. And the truck got recovered, and it was recovered in such a manner that it was still usable. So, thankful for that.